did you feel a pressure because of that unfortunate trend?
Yes, I got completely, and I think all those factors go into my head, and like, especially when that's the thing about the Snatch Game as well. I really want to play an Asian character. Like, that's why I didn't. That was one of the reasons why I didn't do Posh Spice.
Hi babes, I'm Tia Kofi and welcome to Attitude Tea Time, where each week I'll be bringing you the freshly brewed tea with the latest eliminee from Drag Race UK Series 4. And this week I'm joined by Brighouse's own, it's LaPhil.
Hi Tia Kofi, I'm so excited to speak with you.
I'm excited to see you. How are you feeling after last night's elimination?
You know what, I'm positively bubbling. I've had such an amazing time with the show, and I really enjoyed watching it back last night and just seeing the whole journey of all the stuff that I've created and everything. Obviously, I'm sad to go, because there's so much more I would have liked to have shown as well, but it was a great one. I really enjoyed the episode.
I thought it was a good episode, and I mean, we do have to address the fact that we were both eliminated at Snatch Game, so we've got a bond now for life.
Yeah, it's true.
And
you know, oh my god! So they asked me, what was my memorable moment from Snatch Game, and I said it's Tia Kofi doing Mel B. I love that moment. I love Mel B. I love Tia Kofi, and I love watching you do it. So I was like, that was one of my memorable Snatch Games.
It was. I feel like I'm giving a bit of ginger spice now, but in pink. Do you know what I mean? Sort of. You nearly did a Spice Girl for Snatch Game.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You were going to do Posh Spice. Why didn't you do Posh? Rue looked like you loved it.
I've done Posh so often, right? And I was so close until Rue was like, Mel B's your judge. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do it now. She's gonna be like, I've known her for 14 years and that is not how she opens her mouth. And so I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm gonna do a completely different one so that I can just, so there was a suggestion that I should do Posh Spice with a Chinese accent. I was like,
sorry, who suggested that?
Oh, well, we can't say, but then and I was like, okay, I'll think about it, because make Rue laugh, and then I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with my guns and go with Marie Kondo, because I think she's got a blank canvas, a blank slate that I could pull in different directions. But what I didn't anticipate was the fact that all the questions were strictly come dancing related. So I was like, oh my God, I've got to do the world of tidying meets the world of cha-cha. How the hell's that going to be in my Venn diagram of jokes? So I was literally behind that peaceful facade on the Snatch Game, I was going, yeah, it was tough, that one.
I mean, Snatch Game is incredibly hard. I feel like that's something that people don't really realise is it doesn't feel like it does when you watch it back. It feels like you're about to get executed is how it feels.
Completely. And actually for me it was more like I was on a race course and you're galloping and you're also trying to look back to see what you're doing, and the horse is going full speed ahead and you can't stop, and I was just holding on to try and get everything there, because it was it's not comedy, celeb comedy improv is not the thing that I do, right? So it's definitely not I've never put that on my CV. I'm not gonna put that on my CV. But I was I can do it, I can do this. So I was literally gung-ho, holding on for dear life, getting the jokes out as much as I can. And I had fun, I loved doing my stuff. And I didn't think I was that bad. I think there was other stuff which was questionable as well. So I was do you know what? I'm okay, we got this.
So you said you don't think you were that bad. Who do you think was?
Oh, well, I guess I think, oh no, I'm going to say not that bad, but I feel there's an equal amount of badness and goodness in this week's episode.
Do you think it was a good Snatch Game, or do you think it was a less good Snatch Game?
I love Cheddar. I love Cheddar's performance, and Dakota. Dakota and Cheddar were my surprise ones, really. Well, not surprise ones.
Have you been in touch with any other Snatch Game eliminees apart from me?
River. Literally. It's funny, isn't it? That all, I mean, there's a pattern.
There is. And do you know what? Let's see if the BBC jump on us having this conversation. There is a bit of a pattern with people who get eliminated at Snatch Game. Have you noticed anything?
I noticed that as a viewer. So I think it was more okay, well, let's see how this is going to go. So I think I mean, not aside from this pattern, I think I already knew that maybe this was probably the week that I would go home. Like, I think starting on Snatch Game, I think both like Pepper and I were like, okay, this could be the week that we'll go. So, and Pepper's such a strong favourite that I was never under any doubt that I was gonna like stay. So I think it was quite hard and like disheartening at points, but I was like, you know what? Have fun, enjoy it. Like, you only get this one opportunity to do stuff. So no matter what happens with other people and their decisions and stuff, as long as I'm doing my thing to the best of my abilities and enjoying myself, living my life, living my best life, then that's the only way I can do it. Because we've got one life. I don't want any regrets. I don't want to say that I could have done this or done that. Like, I did what I went to do and have fun. So if people try and change that for different things, then that's fine. They can do that. But I'm just going to do me.
Absolutely. I mean, the pattern that we're referring to, obviously, other than myself, Something, River, yourself, and Pangina Heels on UK versus the World have all been eliminated at Snatch Game. Did you feel a pressure because of that unfortunate trend?
Yes, I got completely, and I think all those factors go into my head, and like, especially when I was, that's the thing about the Snatch Game as well. I really want to play an Asian character. Like, that's why I didn't. That was one of the reasons why I didn't do Posh Spice, was because I feel like Asian characters or personalities are not seen in a way that is like positive on lots of shows. And so for Snatch Game, I was like, I need to do an Asian character, like, to have this representation here, and also like for me to try and do well with this, to try and like come out of like that pattern and have a message that Asian characters have a valid place on all media, like, and all pop culture, and not be sideline figures or like be easy to be like kicked out and stuff. So all that's going through my head, as well as all your day-to-day stuff and trying to concentrate on making stuff and creating art and creating humor and stuff. And yeah, definitely was the backdrop of a lot of my work going into Drag Race.
But also, like, completely noted that you represented so much Asian excellence on the runway, especially. Was that something that was like incredibly important to you?
I wanted to show a part of me. So every runway has a story that comes straight from my heart, whether or not it's the Ruayu, like my sort of East-West vibe, or even like with the King and I from my childhood, like doing all the shows within King and I, and that being the first time that as an Asian person I felt like I could do a show, like, and be a principal lead in a thing. So yeah, all these types of stories I wanted to share, and I wanted to be able to give something to fans and audiences from myself and from my heart, like, so everything has a story, a concept.
Well, exactly. Your drag name sort of also combines your out of drag name, and something that I found very interesting watching the season is that the judges have been referring to you with he, him pronouns, both in and out of drag. Can you like tell us about why that is your preference to be referred to with he, him pronouns in drag?
Yeah, because I think there's many ways of representing masculinity. And I think that's the thing that I wanted to get across, was just because I enjoy femininity and makeup and hair doesn't mean that I'm not a man. Like, just as soon as I grow my hair, it still is my real hair. Like, as soon as I grow it doesn't turn me into like a woman, or like to say that I'm a she. So I think it's more of a political thing to be like, you can also find me in the gents' toilets having a pee, and I've got a rightful place to be there. And so yeah, it's redefining and opening what gender is about and how it's expressed. And I think there's a lot of weight with being a man. You can't cry, or you have to do this, or you have to shut back in slides. And I think these rules are in place, and if you keep one stereotype, you keep them all. Like, if you have to knock and smash all the stereotypes for equality, like, you can't do it without. Like, if you expect one thing to happen, then it's like, oh well, if they're doing that, then equal pay doesn't exist. And like, you know, like, everything's linked. Like, so I wanted to be able to smash different stereotypes and archetypes to be able to create a new way of thinking, really.
I mean, I think that's one of the things that is coming across with your season, is that I think a lot of you are quite sort of conceptual and also like intellectual in the way that you think about things. I mean, we have to talk about Cheddar's runway this week. as well, because that was something that took a lot of thought and actually brought up a very important conversation. What did you think about it?
Absolutely amazing. Like, I feel like Drag Race is such an amazing platform to be able to have these discussions. Like, the show, there's not many queer shows on TV, first of all. So to have a queer show that can talk about issues that are so important to the community, but for a mainstream audience is wild. Like, there's so many people who don't know about PrEP, and there's so many people who don't know about undetectable. And to have these conversations and have them at a level where people can experience them as part of an entertainment show is really important. Like, you can absorb so much from those few minutes than leaflets or things that you get sent, because you just don't, you just disregard them and you don't get the information. But having them in an entertainment way like this, and then represent them on the runway, it's just such a beautiful way to portray those messages, and makes them like not scary. It makes them beautiful, powerful statements instead. So I completely applaud Cheddar for that. It was stunning, so good.
I've got a controversial yet brave statement to make.
Yes,
and I'm going to say it. Do you know what? Tia's got opinions today. I don't think you lost that lip sync. I don't think you lost that lip sync. Pepper, I'm sorry. I love Pepper. I don't think you lost that lip sync. But Rue looked mad when you took your shoes off.
No, well, I mean, they put that there, didn't they? Like, who knows if that was the look. But I basically I don't take my shoes off for any reason. It's not because they were high, but it's basically because they were full of grass, branches, and twigs. Because I've been in a campsite with my tent. So I was like, do you know Saturday Ball with like the wig and the rose petals? Well, this was my thing, shaking out all these like leaves and stuff. And like, so the whole performance, I'd already planned like different concepts for and different moments and stuff. And so yeah, that was part of the narrative. And I love how people are so fuming that I take shoes off. Baby got fully naked on the 2 weeks before. And I was like, and I can't take a shoe off to reveal like leaves and twigs and stuff. And as part of a narrative, please.
You're telling a story. Have you ever performed Stop before?
Never.
But you have performed with
I performed with Mel C, yeah. So I had toured Mel C for a whole year. We went from Sao Paulo to New York Times Square, Australia, Europe, and I played Posh.
Did you ever feel like at risk that you might be in the bottom two in the other episodes, or were you pretty like confident?
Do you know what? After the design challenge, like, which I loved doing, which was in week 3, like, I was like riding on a high. And then when we got to the improv one, I was like, oh, okay, so these critiques, like, basically our group, it wasn't the best. Like, obviously, like, Danny's and Cheddar's and Pixies was so amazing. But we also had loads of jokes, which weren't in an alternate universe, you would have seen me doing this. And like doing my tongue exercises. But Alan, and in an alternate universe, Alan would be tackling himself. But then somehow we never saw it. And like, and so I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna be in the bottom. So I was already felt it then. So there was tricks and stuff that I'd planned for that. I was prepared every time. So by the time musicals came, I was like, last week was tough, so I cannot slip up this week. Every single frame of every second that I'm on that stage has to be amazing. And for me to come out after like 7 people whose energies kept building, I was like, I need to take that and get even bigger and make sure we bring this whole thing together and make it amazing. And so once I did that and then was still placed in the bottom, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to prepare myself again to lip sync just in case, because I feel like it's an uphill struggle at this point. So I think by the time Snatch Game was announced and me and Pepper looked at each other and were like, fuck, this is the one.
I mean, it's tough. That's the thing. I feel like people sort of get to watch it week to week, but don't actually realize how like intense and pressured. And also the audience have really short memories. Sorry that I'm going off on a monologue right now, but I feel like it needs to be said. The audience have really short memories. I think we've already forgotten that someone literally had to take themselves home last week to care for themselves. So the kind of reaction and response that people give only a week later because you took your shoes off. I'm like, come on. Think before you tweet, babes.
I know, and that's the thing, like, I think for that lip sync, I did want to have something which was like a pure kid, like chaotic joy, like and just have fun and have my like fabric. Oh wait. Like literally just have fun and like enjoy itself. And like I think the previous weeks, both Baby and I from the improv challenge, because we were in the same group, we were like, oh, okay, we got this sort of same level of critique. So we were always very like intertwined with each other in terms of emotionally how we were both feeling, and we both felt really tough from that episode, and then onwards into musicals because we're like, felt like we can't win. So I completely applaud Baby for just going, you know what, I'm good. Like I'm ready and I'm done. And I think part of me sort of like left with her that week as well because I was really emotional from that part. And then so then to have the opportunity to do Snatch Game for me was actually great. Like it was a sort of an enjoyable moment where I could just go, do you know what, I'm just gonna have fun on this one and just see what happens.
Obviously, it was really difficult seeing Baby leave, but did it sort of change the atmosphere for you and the other queens in the workroom? What was it like afterwards?
I mean, like, yeah, it was emotional because it's your friend that you were going, I don't want you to miss out on anything, but equally, I really want you to look after yourself first and foremost. So I think there was that mixed thing. And then also going, okay, well, at least we can carry on and sort of do the show in honor as well, like, and just carry on doing the thing that we love to do. Like, we're all there for a reason to be able to entertain and create art and stuff. So we got to make sure that we do the best we can just to carry that forward, really.
What's next for LaPhil? Let's plug all I believe you've released at this point 143 tracks on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm giving Rue a competition, a run for the money. Yeah, I released a new EP today, which is called The Philosophical, which is all the songs inspired by the runways. So all the Rue Are You looks of it, the Keeping It 100, the Putty look, the main event, the hair look feeling so good, all the songs are on this EP. And it's a proper reflection of the messages that I had within the outfits, but also what I was feeling when I was writing them. So the lead single is This Is My Culture, which is dedicated to my queer fam, my Asian family, my creative family, everyone who's worked with me over the last year. Because to be a queen on this show, you can't do it by yourself. You have to have people who support you, who love you, who can give you time, energy, favors, and like photographers, filmmakers, like people who supply eyelashes and nails, like all the type of stuff. Like this is a whole family that brought me here onto this point, and so this song is a dedication to them because I could not have done it without them. I couldn't have done it without the fan support over the last 6 weeks, because for them to sort of reach out and echo things that I was thinking or feeling, like they really lifted me up so much I can't even express. So yeah, this entire EP is for them.
Oh, that's so gorgeous. I can't wait to listen to it. Thank you for watching Attitude Tea Time. Make sure you join us again next week for some more scalding hot tea from Drag Race UK Series 4. Bye, babes.